Hello friends, this year I turned 45, 30 of which I am a believer and 20 serve as the senior pastor of the church. And I did not mention these figures by chance because today I want to talk to you about a feeling, or rather a state, called disappointment. This feeling is typical for those who have experienced significant life events. A person beginning their life is often filled with hope and faith in a brighter future. The start of everything is typically associated with positive feelings. We are excited about an enchanting future ahead. Those who are happily married take a moment to reflect on the early days of your relationship when you were deeply in love. Recall how you shared dreams of a bright future together, envisioning the ways you would cherish and support one another, the beautiful children you hoped to raise, the large house you would build with a lovely green lawn, and the joyful addition of a dog or a cat to your family. In this painting, there is none of what you learned later. A happy family needs significant effort, and misunderstandings or conflicts can occur even among loving couples. And children don't always behave the way we imagined when we started a family, or for example, the start of a business. Does anyone sincerely consider the various difficulties they might face? Any beginner with shining eyes talks about their project and they are confident that everything will definitely work out for them. He is enchanted by his idea. A person with charm is truly wonderful. Just like the lovers we spoke of, who gaze at each other at the altar, or the children who share their childhood dreams. Yes, and in general, everyone who starts something begins their own path enchanted. And perhaps that's how it should be. However, more mature individuals observe these situations and comprehend that eventually the rose-colored glasses will be removed. All lovers, as we have previously mentioned, will inevitably encounter some initial conflicts and challenges. Businessmen will, at some point, experience financial losses, and sadly, some deeply held prayers of Christians may remain unanswered. And that's precisely when the corrosive spirit of disappointment may unexpectedly creep up on all of us. When the idealized picture that a person initially creates meets another contrasting reality, the individual risks experiencing disappointment. The very word suggests to us that before disappointment, there was something that captivated the person. And then later on, confronted with another reality, the charm built within him and in his mind, the perfect picture of the world, collapses. Inexperience often brings charm. The more prepared you are, the more clearly you can view marriage, business, and so on. You have a deeper understanding of the challenges and opportunities you will face on your journey ahead. Disappointment comes to those who were unaware of what they might encounter, who were unprepared. And facing this, such people inevitably experience disappointment. There are two choices, either to be disappointed or to grow up. Similar things happen to us when we become Christians. Our journey with God starts with a childlike enchantment for Christianity. Often, without experience or wise mentors, or ignoring their guidance, we eagerly rush forward, captivated by this beauty. The issue isn't merely our enchantment with something. Where would we be without it? At some point in time, something unexpected will happen that we are completely unprepared for. And will we be disappointed then? Or will we finally grow up? There is always a choice, disappointment or growth. Ask yourself if there have been instances in your life when you encountered situations in reality that did not align with your expectations or beliefs about how things should unfold. Reflect on times when reality was markedly different from your imagination, when God did not respond in the way you had hoped, or when your prayers seemed to go unanswered, leaving you feeling perplexed and uncertain. Great people in the Bible experienced similar events. Let me show you an example from the Gospel. The apostles were enchanted by Jesus. Everyone is charmed by them. They knew that he is Messiah. They believe that the Holy Scriptures, particularly the Old Testament, justify their view of the Messiah as a powerful conqueror of enemies. Therefore, the apostles, as they ascended to Jerusalem, were dividing places, who would sit on the left side and who on the right side of Christ when he takes his royal position. Although Jesus repeatedly told them that he would willingly go to the cross, they stubbornly continued to focus on and think about the glory they would enter when Christ finally established his kingdom on earth. They envisioned a completely different and ideal picture than the one they ultimately found themselves living in. And although Christ took the time to prepare them, they were still not fully ready for this vastly different reality. And just imagine, he hangs on the cross, a picture they never envisioned, one they were not prepared to confront. And what about the kingdom they envisioned? And what about the fact that one is on the right and the other on the left side of the throne? Only John came to Christ, others did not. Why? World has fallen apart? They were disappointed. What happens to disappointed people? Such people often abandon what they have started. Disillusioned with one thing, they often reject everything else, including what was once the truth. It's likely all a lie, they claim. Charm can blind you, but disappointment blinds even more. There are no more cynical people than those who are disappointed. Disappointed individuals tend to lose hope and become cynical, as noted. Disappointment can destroy dreams and even lives. It adversely affects their business. How to cope with disappointment? The primary antidote to disappointment in life is embracing the truth. The profound truth that can effectively mend and reshape your shaken worldview, transitioning it to be realistic instead of fantastical, airy, or somehow unreal. We require the truth. The first tool that will restore our shaken worldview is the Holy Scripture. When Jesus appears to his apostles after the resurrection, he opens the Scriptures to them, teaching them about his sufferings in the Scriptures. Ought not the Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded to them in all the Scriptures the things concerning himself. Luke chapter 24. This is what they did not want to notice about the Messiah. They recognized the glory but ignored the accompanying suffering. Although he spoke to them directly about it, they completely missed the significance of this important truth. And this unfortunate event, by the way, affected many Jews of that time. Thank God that Christ corrected their worldview. To overcome disappointment, summarize. First, we need the Holy Scriptures and an honest perspective on them, considering all sides. We must not adopt a narrow perspective that only accepts and embraces what we personally like. The Bible is divinely inspired by God. But countless people distort it, shaping it into what they personally want to see, rather than what it genuinely and truly is. Second, we truly need wise mentors who understand the truth and have genuinely lived through life's experiences. Inexperienced people can be very charming with their bright eyes and passionate hearts, but those who have lived life know what to advise. Prepare individuals for life. We need to be passionate but also prepared so that life doesn't bring us disappointments. We'll talk about this today.